Big cactus. That one looks alright. 45 quid! Paying that. Look at this. That's a cactus, it's meant to be Meglos. I couldn't be asked buying a new one, it's been there for about 3 years and it's probably dead. This is my Doctor Who Season 18 review. If you want to watch all the other season reviews, click up in the corner now, there'll be a link to the playlist of every other one. So this is Tom Baker's last season. It is John Nathan Turner's first season as producer. I'll start with The Leisure Hive. Obviously it had new titles, which I actually really like. I love these 80s titles. The theme, again, I really like it. The TARDIS exterior, really like it. The costume has grown on me, but I'm not really that keen. I used to love it when I was little, but I've gone off it. And then the score, I don't really like the 80s music either. I prefer the way they did it in the 70s. I don't know what changed. I'm not really that into the music, but I do prefer the 70s one. I thought right at the start when K9 ran into the water chasing that ball, I thought that was so dog-like and it really made me laugh. Then again, what the is K9 made out of that blows up whenever it hits water? Magnesium or something. It's really good prosthetics that they obviously put on Tom Baker to make him look old. For its time it was really good. It's still really good now. The whole story though was quite slow and complicated. Obviously I understood it, I enjoyed it for what it was, but it just went so slow. I don't know, there's just something about it. Meglos. Obviously this was the return of Jacqueline Hill. She obviously wasn't playing Barbara, but it's nice to see her back, I suppose. I'm glad John Leeson is back to voice K9. John Leeson is always going to be the definitive K9 for me. So no matter who comes back to voicing K9 will always be best voiced by John Leeson. I thought the way they got out of that time loop thing was really iffy. There was something about it I didn't like. It just felt really convenient, I guess. It was slow towards the end, but overall, again, it was a good story. That's something I think a lot of the stories in this season share. They drag quite a lot towards the middle. Full circle, obviously that was Adric's first story. I can't stand Adric, he does my head in. The kids that Adric was hanging around with weren't even intimidating. When they walked into the TARDIS and they said, we're going to get over this shit, they were not intimidating. Give them one of these, a pair of these and a pair of these, and you're spot on. They'll probably be a bit more intimidating for Romana, but they're not. And give him a knife as well. I love K9's theme when he goes to the rescue. I thought it was so funny. I thought the spiders in this were 10 times better than the spiders in Planet of the Spiders. Again, the story was okay. It drags a lot. Again. Then we get State of Decay. This was probably one of the better stories in the season. I liked how mysterious it was towards the start. I liked how it took a sort of mythical twist. I thought it was great to see K9 actually leaving the TARDIS. Until this point, you didn't see him leaving the TARDIS. It was just one minute he was in, next minute he was out. The deaths of the vampires at the end were actually quite gruesome. It worked really well. You'd never have that on TV now, a character dying like that. It was an okay story again. Like I said, it was probably better than the other ones, but not that much better. Then we get Warrior's Gate. I actually really enjoyed the story. It was well written. It was sad to say goodbye to Romana and K9. I thought you could sympathise a lot with a lot of the characters, not really the humans, but I can't remember what they're called, the hairy ones, the ones that look like a lion. But yeah, no, it's a really good story and I really did enjoy it. The Keeper of Rockin. Now, this was the first story I watched from season 18 when I was little. So, Keeper of Rockin is always going to have a sort of a place in my heart, but it's still not that good. I thought the woman who looks like Sideshow Bob was really annoying. The way she passed out was very fake, and it was very. I don't think she was bad. I don't think she was a very good actor. Master wasn't in it much, considering he hasn't been in it since season 14. Was it season 14? Yeah. Considering the Master hasn't been in the show since season 14, you'd have thought you'd get more of him, and you don't. You just get a few minutes at the end of part 4, really. You see him a little bit, obviously, in other parts, but you don't actually see him. You just see his hands and his voice. And then we get to Legopolis. I thought Tom Baker being such a popular Doctor, probably the most popular Doctor of all time. So I thought Logopolis, well, it was an alright story. I feel like it should have gone on a brilliant story. This should have been so much more, but it wasn't. I thought the whole business with the police boxes was a bit too complicated. That might just be me being dumb, but I can't really understand if the Master parked his TARDIS inside a police box and then the Doctor parked his around it. Fair enough, the Master's TARDIS would be there. So if they went into the Master's TARDIS, they'd have another TARDIS with another police box in the middle. But why, when they went into that other police box, was there another TARDIS inside that? So why is there now 3 TARDISes? Where did the third one come from? I don't quite understand that. I thought Tegan came across as a very kind of two-dimensional character. When she got told that her Aunt Vanessa had been killed by the Master, she was upset, but then by the next scene she was in, she was happy again. Well, I say happy, she wasn't upset, like she probably should have been in that situation. Tom Baker's acting in this was really, really good, considering Tom wasn't happy with the production team in this season, so his performance hasn't been that good this season compared to his other seasons. As soon as he saw the Watcher, he knew exactly what was coming, and you can see it in his acting that there is something there that he's going to fear, but he actually got on with it, unlike some Doctors. So it was very, very sad to see Tom leave. So overall, you could tell this was John Nathan Turner's first season. As soon as he took over, he changed everything. Some of it was good, but yeah, I mean, most of the stories in this were quite weak. Subscribe if you're new, leave a like on the video, comment, you know, whatever. Right, I'll see you later. Cheers for watching. Goodbye.